speaking of Migos, man, I know your relationship runs deep with the Migos. I saw a previous interview when you pretty much was on a hunt and legit Quavo walked right in front of you.
Yeah.
Talk about I don't want to say how proud you are. How proud you are of where they come from, where they come from, where they at now, and also Donald Glover comparing them to the Beatles. How you feel about that?
I'm very, very proud of the guys, man. But I almost knew it when I first seen them. When I first seen them guys, I felt like, they was built for this moment. They, built to be the biggest star group in the music game, in the rap game. So, I'm definitely very proud. I'm proud to be part of, the projects that they do. One thing about Migos, man, that every time they put out an album, mixtape, whatever it is, they make sure they got Zaytoven on it. So, I'm definitely rocking with them for that. And yeah, man, the new Beatles, why not? Ain't no other three-man rap group out here, or a group that's, doing it big like the Migos. So
yeah. So let's piggyback off Migos, and Atlanta culture in general has been booming. And over the last 5 to 10 years, you could say they pretty much been running the rap game. A lot of people would say. What's the key to that success? I know a lot of you guys stick together. I know you and Metro do some work together. A lot of Atlanta rappers stick together. Is that the key to success, is staying together and moving as a unit instead of a crab in the barrel approach?
I definitely think that's part of it. And Atlanta, man, just has all the different type of flavors you can ask for. Like, to me, Atlanta is very fashionable. We come up with all the new lingo, You got all the producers coming out of Atlanta. And, Atlanta can be everything. Atlanta can be crunk music. It can be swag music. It can be gangster music. It can be trap music. Or you can come out with a dance song. So, Atlanta, I think that's the reason that Atlanta has been on top, for the last 10 years because, we covering all bases. And Atlanta, even though we stick together and we rock with each other, we still very competitive, individually. So I think that's what keep us,
Now, a lot of, I don't want to say shade or hate, but the mumble rap, it seems like every time people talk about Atlanta, the mumble rap is not real hip hop. You know what I mean? What do you say to the naysayers or the people who are comparing your music to, not your music in general, but music that come out of Atlanta, not real music, not real hip hop?
Well, those are the people I think, and I understand why they might not be fans of it, at first. But I think that's the type of music that really grows on people, and people try to mimic that same sound that they didn't like, at first. Like the mumble rap or the things that's going on right now in music, especially coming out of Atlanta, is more so creativity than anything. Everybody, it's a lot of guys that can really rap and put words together, but the way that these guys nowadays are putting melodies together and the way they putting they hops together and even the certain mumbles, man, I've been a fan of that ever since, the artists started doing it. And I felt like that the reason why I like it so much is because they confident enough to even come out and put their music out like that, and it's being creative. So, I think to all the people that really doesn't like it or hate it now, give it a few, give it a little time, and they man, that's my favorite jam. That's my favorite song. And they gonna start rapping like, want to sound like that. So
speaking of mumble rap, man, there's one person in particular getting a lot of heat, Lil Yachty, with the Notorious B.I.G. comment, and a lot of people feeling that he's not respecting the people who came before him with those comments. Being that you're a pioneer of the Atlanta rap game, have you had any conversation about, respecting those who came before you, or is just every man's entitled to their own opinion?
I think every man is entitled to their own opinion. A lot of these guys, they didn't grow up to that music or whatever, so, I can't expect them to look at it the same way I look at it, so I think everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
I got you. Now, you're originally from Germany, then you had some time in Cali, and I'm assuming it was around the same time the whole East Coast and West Coast beef was bubbling out there.
Yep.
Notorious B.I.G., his anniversary, his death, I believe it's 20 years anniversary is coming up. So can you describe what went down around the time when the Notorious B.I.G. died, piggybacking off the Lil Yachty question, when you were in California out that way?
I really can't say. I was just such a big fan of music, period, that, all that stuff hit me funny. Like when B.I.G. died, when Pac died, of course we were listening to Tupac. But, it all hit me funny, but I didn't really pay that much attention to it. I was innocent. I was just a kid that just loved all the music that come out. Like B.I.G. to me was one of the slickest rappers period at that time. He was the guy that was, to me, kicking flavor and lingo way back then. Like, he had a slick tongue to me, so, you know. So
you can say the West Coast did receive Biggie though, because I know a lot of people
yeah.
who are young who wasn't really
No,
around that
we
time.
definitely
feels
received
like,
him.
the West Coast and the East Coast. If you're a West Coast rapper, you didn't rock with the East Coast. So
I was on the West Coast,
there.
and we were rocking with Biggie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now moving forward, you and Gucci man, I'm glad to see that combination is back. That's where it all started.
Yes, sir.
Now, sober Gucci is what everybody's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when Lil Wayne came out and he came out and said he would stop drinking lean, and people was like, "Nah, I want the Wayne, the lean Wayne. I want the Wayne that was rapping the lean." Do you feel that Gucci music is better now that he's sober, or do you feel like, sometimes you have to pull Gucci to the side, like, "Hey, give me that old Gucci back for a minute"?
With Gucci, I think Gucci can really do whatever he wants to do. Even when he's sober, he can make the music that he made, when he was, intoxicated. That's just not the move he's on right now. Gucci's a very intelligent guy, and he's like, I feel like that was a chapter in his life. That was a season for that music. Now he's moving on. He's doing something, a little different. And Gucci still can out-rap just about all the rappers. He's a rap machine. So, I just love Gucci music, period. I'm a big fan. I'm a real huge fan. That's like my number one guy. So I'm always like his music. So I don't know how everybody else feel.
Now, when you first met him, he wasn't a rapper. He was trying to put his nephew on.
Yeah, put his nephew on. Yeah.
So how did you convince Gucci, man, that, hey, listen, you might want to try the rap thing out too?
I think maybe he almost, in the back of his mind, he thought about, doing it himself too. So all it took was me like, "Hey, man, you need to record a song." He's like, "All right, bet." And that turned into every day after that, he at the house recording music. So, yeah.
Now with Zaytoven, I see you were branching out into some other things, man. Films.
Films, yeah.
Talk about the new film you got coming out that you're in the works, and the previous films that you put out in the past, and how'd you get involved in that period?
The way I got involved with films is through a guy named Al Nuke. He come from Detroit, and he was a film director. He was an actor. He write films. He's a film director. And all it took was me seeing him one time. He had a movie called 17,000 Block that I just seen him in it, and I just seen the whole story. I was like, "Oh, this guy right here is amazing with this stuff." So I was like, "Man, you got to come." Since I knew him, I'm like, "You need to do something like that down here in Atlanta to put a movie together." So that's what he did. But he thought like, "Well, if I'm gonna do a movie, you need to be the star of it." And I'm like, "Well, man, I ain't no actor. I don't do that stuff." You know what I mean? But he convinced me to do it, and he whipped me into shape to even pull the whole movie off. You know what I mean? He's one guy I've seen that he can pull a rapper that don't even care nothing about acting or trying to act. He gonna whip him into shape and like, "Dang, buddy did a good job in the movie." So, that's what got me into the movies. We did Birds of a Feather. It done so well for me on Netflix, and people started noticing my face so much that I was like, you know what? I want to do some more movies. So we did another movie called Finesse. It was a comedy, about the music game, the rap game, almost like a Janky Promoters. And, we just put that out for DVD just to keep something going. So now we back, going to Netflix. We done teamed up with Nick Cannon. Now we doing Birds of a Feather 2, which is, I feel like we're going to take it to a whole nother level.
And there's no time frame yet on that?
No, not. I'm looking to really put it out before the end of the year.
Okay.
But, I can't really give you an exact date.
So do you feel that your sound, like the fact that everybody loves you for that trap music, the trap feel that you give people, do you feel that you're getting boxed in right now with your sound, being that you're so musically inclined, musically talented, you want to venture out in other aspects of the music game?
I used to feel like that. I used to feel like, I was boxed in, and I wanted to make different type of sound and music because I feel like I can do that. I got the ability to do that. Until I realized that, people love just the sound that I created. I remember Usher was working on a new project, and they was like, "They send us some tracks. We working on an Usher new album." And I was like, "Okay, cool. This is a chance for me to send all the big sound and music I've been doing, that beats that I done put to the side to show that I can do more than just trap music." I sent it to them, and they hit me back and said, "Yeah, Zaytoven, this, these tracks is cool, but can you give us the beats like you sending Migos and So it made me feel like, oh, okay, well, the world is kind of bowing down to the sound that I've created. So now I don't need to change. I don't need to do nothing else, because when they come to me, this is what they want. So I felt like I just dug into my sound even more, added some new flavor to it, updated it, and I'm gonna stick with the Zaytoven sound.
I hear that.
If you listen to the beats now though, you can't tell everything is not just so trap. If you listen to Used to This, or even Too Much Sauce, it doesn't just sound like the regular Zaytoven trap sound. It got some other elements to it.
Right now, Black History Month is next month. Black Music Month is coming up in June. Is there anybody that influenced you as far as music-wise? And I'm pretty sure everybody has those particular people but is there, if you could pinpoint one person for me that's really been an influence on your music career?
If it come to making tracks, I'll have to say DJ Quick.
Okay.
DJ Quick was one of the producers I used to listen to all the time. It was just so musically inclined. It was still hard, but it just had so many flutes and keys and stuff to it that, I always wanted to mimic that sound when I was younger, coming up producing. So he was definitely a big influence, in the music for me.
And I gotta ask a question, man. Chrisette Rochelle, she's been a lot of backlash for performing for the new president, which a lot of people aren't claiming as their president, but on contrary, he is our president, Donald Trump. And we all want to know, man, what would it take for Donald Trump to get a beat from Zaytoven? What would the bag have to look like?
Didn't TMZ asked me that same question.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't really put a number on it, but it got to be a real big number.
It got to be a real big bag.
It got to be a big bag.